The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/miamosinzia.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartradio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon Audible, coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with an amazing gentleman who is the host of Maximum Exposure, as seen on Instagram and many of the major podcast platforms, and he's also involved with the IFBB Wrestling, the Phoenix Wrestling Foundation, and he's featured such amazing wrestling sensations like Eric Peralta, Anthony Pantelli, the Fire Angels, and Zed Zhang, and he's been in the sports business for 10 years, and this guy is just amazing, and he takes it to the max. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere in beautiful New York, the very, very multi-talented host of Maximum Exposure, the Mad Max of wrestling, Max Vitelli. Max, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you very much. Hey, pick one, morning, noon, or afternoon. I'm multitasking today. I got to say something, Mike. That was absolutely amazing what you just said.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, you are the Mad Max when it comes to maximum exposure and the Mad Max of wrestling. I got to say that. You're just so mad about it, and you take it to max. That's what I got to tell you. So you're the host of Maximum Exposure. I've been on your show I think about a few weeks ago or somewhere around there in 2020. I had a lot of fun with you, by the way, just absolutely amazing. And you're involved with the IFBB Wrestling, also Phoenix Wrestling Foundation. You had numerous wrestling stars like Eric Peralta, Anthony Vitelli, also the Fire Angels, Zeta Zhang. You've been in sports business for 10 years, and, I mean, you basically just covered the whole gamut of sports in the New York, New Jersey area. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, Max.
Well, first of all, I got to say one thing. Everything you just said, with everything that I'm involved with was basically all, what's the word, wrong.
I'm just going by the information you gave me here, so.
I know, but it's not IFBB Wrestling. Okay, let me first turn around and say, okay, I got involved. I mean, I'll get to that in a minute because that's just. I mean, I understand it's like you got to get everything out there, and you really did put it all out there pretty quick. But I got involved in the sports entertainment industry, many moons ago. I did it when I was 35 years old. I actually got into it as a dare. I was working in the finance business, and I remember an individual who came up to me like so many years ago and said to me, "Hey, if you were to give everything up right now, and you wanted to do something else, what would you do?" And I told him I wanted to be a stand-up comic. So he dared me to give everything up and go be a stand-up comic. So I left whatever job I was at. I went to New York, and I got my hands involved in everything I could with stand-up comedy. Did stand-up New York Comic Strip Live, all that good stuff. And then, as fate would have it, I ran into the same guy about 10 years later, and he said the same thing to me again. He says, "If you were going to give everything up, what would you do?" I said, "You know what? I'm such an avid wrestling fan. I think I want to be a professional wrestler." He says, "I dare you to go do it." So rather than go to any of the local places in New York, I went all the way down to San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, my gosh.
And trained with Sean Higginbottom, who was also the Heartbreak Kid, at his school in San Antonio. And I was training with the likes of Paul White, The Big Show, and Paul Levesque, who was Triple H. But back then, wasn't Triple H. He was just Paul. But, yeah. So, like I said, so what I did was I finished training down there, and instead of going this way, which should have been Ohio Valley, I went that way, to the right. And I went to the Long Island Wrestling Federation, where I became Max Mayhem.
Max Man, interesting.
Max Mayhem, not Mad Max. I never became Mad Max. That's a copyrighted name, so I never became Mad Max. Nor did I become Mad Maxi Pad, even though that was
I don't want that name, thank you.
I don't want that name, thank you. It's like, "Hey, Maxi Pad." I'm like, "Ha! Never heard that before." But anyway. So I'm with the Long Island Wrestling Federation for about 9 months, and then this my 9th title defense. I'm in the backstage. I'm in the back, and I'm washing myself off, but I'm washing the other guy's blood off my body. Thank God, things were as crazy back then as they were now, because then I would be in trouble. But I'm looking at myself in the mirror with the long hair, the mustache, the goatee, the earring, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, "What am I doing?" And that was it for me. So then I decided to get on the promoter end of it, and I just basically took it from there. I started Phoenix Productions, which later became Phoenix Entertainment, and it became the Fire Angels, not the Power Angels, not the Powder Puff Girls, not the Power Girls, not Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, the Fire Angels, okay? Okay, and I started Phoenix Productions, which became Phoenix Entertainment, started that in 2009, and it's been a roller coaster ever since. So that's where I've been at.
Wow, that is amazing. That is just one hell of a ride, I guess, say that.
Oh, yes.
And what would you say, what was that one precise moment that influenced you, what you did today? What's that one precise moment that said, "This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life"?
After I got divorced. That was...
Really? So was it, did she give you the money, give you the car, the house, or what?
Yes, she did. Yes, she got it. She got the money, the car, and the cats.
The cats.
Keep the cats. She actually only kept the cats and kept the car.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, I see how things go too. And who are some of your favorite, wrestlers, favorite sports guys like baseball, football, athletes? Who would you watch growing up?
performers, I mean, I guess the icons that really galvanized me a couple of times. Of course, the legendary Mr. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, of course. I mean, that guy was just absolutely amazing, the way he would put his body on the line, and the way he used to jump from that top rope, top of the steel cage, that whole thing. He was one of the icons that I absolutely idolized. And then, of course, the man who just retired, Mr. Mean Mark Calloway, or better yet known as The Undertaker. I'd say he's probably one of my favorite all times. I mean, everybody else was like going for Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man and whatever. And I was like, yeah, Hulk Hogan is more like a cartoon character to me. That's what it was. I mean, I would never go up to Terry and tell him that, like to his face. I would never say that. But he was like the hero that everybody wanted. He was like the hero everybody needed. Because basically wrestling, it's like a soap opera. It's like a storybook. It's like a come to life comic book. That's what wrestling is, and it's got its drama, it's got its backstory, and then of course the ultimate badass and the ultimate bad guy, of course, was the Undertaker. This was an unstoppable force. This man. So and there was something pretty cool about him. There really was. So I would say he, plus the fact that I actually met Mark one time. We were in someplace in Queens at a strip club. The other guys wanted to be there. I didn't want to be there, but he was like sitting up front. So I sent him. I told him, I go send this guy a 12-year-old Scotch, not a 12-year-old, a 12-year-old Scotch. Send him a top shelf. I send him a 12-year. That wouldn't have worked. But anyway, send him a top shelf. So I send it over to him, and the girl points to me, and she tells him, and she points to me saying, "This gentleman sent it over to you." And he asked what it was, and as soon as he sniffed it, and he put his glass down, he looked at me, and he waves his hand over. He says, "Come on over." And then as soon as I sit down, "Bring this gentleman one too." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm going to drink with me. I'm cool. Everything's cool." Ooh, and I'm like, but meanwhile, my brain is going. But I'm like, I'm just sitting there cool as a cucumber. But my brain is like 5 years old. It's like, don't say anything wrong. Don't say anything wrong. So that was pretty much it. And he told me a little bit about the business, and I thought to myself, okay, what the heck? So like I said, it's been a roller coaster since then. I got involved a lot with the women's division, and I started up, the Fire Angels. I also started a very popular wrestling group called the Thunder Kittens. That went over very well. That was had a very good 3-4 year run with the Thunder Kittens. It was a lot of new talent, a lot of raw talent, a lot of individuals that like I said, there was the time where I didn't have to even use a whiteboard to train them anymore. It's like they knew this stuff by heart. So it's like when they're putting a match together and they're going over everything in the back, and they're going over their performance, without any direction from you, you've done something right, So.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. And of course, this all leads up to your podcast, Maximum Exposure. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon Audible. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And also heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Kimberley, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the host of Maximum Exposure and sports promoter Max Vitelli of the New York, New Jersey area here on the Mike Wagner Show. And this show, I've been on his show about back in 2020, and he is just an amazing following, asks a lot of great questions. You know, we talk wrestling, talk sports, and whatever else. And tell us more about the program, Maximum Exposure, Max.
Well, okay, so I got the idea for Maximum Exposure because I thought to myself, okay, Maximum Exposure is part of a whole conglomerate of everything that I'm going to be working on for 2021 because, you know, 2020 has just been such a stellar year for everyone. You know that. And, thanks to COVID, a lot of things got shut down, and even Hollywood's on hold. So I got the idea for Maximum Exposure along with another idea to have our own streaming service. So, I mean, there's the WWE, they have their streaming service, and you have AEW, you have Impact Wrestling. But a lot of these wrestling companies, a lot of these sports entertainment companies aren't really like taking advantage of the streaming. So Maximum Exposure is just one of the shows that we are putting together. It's a talk show that I developed that basically features me, the corporate bad boy, Max Vitelli. And every week I would have on an individual guest. Sometimes I would have individuals on from other wrestling companies. I would have some of the individuals, some of the new Fire Angels that we've hired, some of the Thunder Girl wrestlers that we hired for Thunder Zone Wrestling. They would be on. Some of the times we even have like celebrities on as well. Some celebrities on. Like one time I got this really eccentric guy from like Bismarck, North Dakota. Who the hell's from Bismarck, North Dakota? Oh, wait a minute, that was you, Mike.
Oh, something. I was just going to say Carson Wentz, but that's not the right one. So, or else, Cara Munn, the Miss North America, or you also have a few others are known in North Dakota, but not here. I guess I have to go play North Dakota nice and try to figure that out. But I'm not the level of popular Carson Wentz yet. But Carson, I hope you're listening out there. I'd love to have you on. So, oh my gosh.
How would Carson be listening? He's dead. Carson died years ago.
Carson Wentz? Oh, you mean Johnny Carson Wentz?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Sometimes I feel like Johnny Carson. I got to say that. What do you think, Ed McMahon? Johnny's so funny.
That wasn't bad. Okay. Okay. So where was I at? Yeah. So like I said, we have other individuals on. So for the 2021, we're speaking to a lot of new individuals. Eric Roberts, who's my brother from another mother. As soon as he gets a schedule together, he's going to be on my show. There's another gentleman who you've seen on stage, not on stage, but you've seen on TV, you've seen in movies. His name is Dominic Lombardo. He's been in Sneaky Pete. He's been in episodes of Showtime, of Billions. But Dominic has just like done so many movies. Dominic was very nice to grace his presence with me at my father's funeral many years ago. So Dominic was even in The Shield. If you remember that movie, the TV show, The Shield. Dominic was in that as well too. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to pin him down for an interview as well. One of the guests from what's his name? Eddie, the guy who plays Eddie, Butch Patrick.
Butch Patrick, yes.
I'm also in touch with him. He's going to be appearing in 2021, and who knows? You never know. The sky's the limit. And then hopefully we'll be able to launch Phoenix TV come spring of 2021, because that's what we're really looking at right now. Spring of 2021 for Phoenix TV, or what we call PTV.
PTV, that's interesting. Where can we find PTV and Maximum Exposure on?
Well, for now, Maximum Exposure you could find on my Facebook page starting January 2nd. That's Max Vitelli on Facebook, or Max Vitelli 2020. You look at facebook.com/Max Vitelli 20. No, wait, not 2020. I'm sorry. Max Vitelli 2009, because that's when I created everything. So you go on Facebook for that. On Instagram, you can find me on Instagram at phoenix.ent.llc on Instagram. So you'll be able to catch Maximum Exposure on a live stream on StreamYard, and a live stream every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As east as the Raccoon National Cemetery flies.
I'm familiar with that, yeah, with, what was it, Jackie Gleason, The Honeymooners. Right on that kisser.
Well, yeah, right on the kiss. As a matter of fact, yeah, he actually did a special back in 1977, which was called the Honeymooners Christmas Special, which reunited Audrey Meadows and Jackie Gleason and Ed Norton. I'm sorry, Art Carney. Back in '77, and I'm a fan of nostalgic TV. So yeah, I'll binge watch the old episodes of I Dream of Jeannie, The Munsters. What was the other one? There was like Courtship of Eddie's Father. And basically stuff like that, because I'm a big fan. Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons. I'm a big fan of nostalgic TV because I grew up with that stuff. And all the kids were outside playing stickball. I was the sheltered kid, tied to my tied to my Italian mother's apron strings, and I had to stay home and watch TV, of course.
And of course, here you are now being the superstar host of Maximum Exposure and a lot more. I guess you kind of had the last laugh over the kids that played stickball, didn't take advantage of it. So,
as a matter of fact, a lot of those kids that I didn't play stickball with, that I went to grammar school with, a lot of them I haven't seen in like years. So I actually got invited to my grammar school reunion. Now, who the hell, first of all, hosts a grammar school reunion? Why would you even think about putting something like that together? You want to go back and visit the kids that you went to in grammar school? And I'm like, damn. But you know what? I was very daring. I was very bold. And I'm like, you know what? Let me see what the hell everybody looks like. I go there, and there was only one guy there that I remember from grammar school who aged as gracefully as I did. Everybody else who I met there was either bald, short, or fat, or all of the above. And I remember one of those guys who used to bully me when he was a kid, and he was a lot skinnier than me when I saw him eventually, and he was a lot smaller than me when I got there. And I went up to him, I go, Louie, you remember all those times you used to make fun of me in grammar school? Guess what's about to happen? So, but no, I didn't do anything to him. It's like, but it's like when they saw me, and they saw how big I got, because I was a little kid back then. I walked into the place, I'm 6'2", 240 pounds, and they're like, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like all of a sudden the whole intimidation is like, boy, do you remember what you did to me when I was a little kid?
And you can thank wrestling for that.
I could thank a lot of things for that. I could thank wrestling for that. I could thank really being dedicated to like putting some mass on my body. I could thank my mom, who used to fill me up with freaking gallons and gallons of freaking milk. Growing up in that house, my God, it was incredible. I practically grew overnight. I used to go through a gallon of milk every 2 days, and then my mom would just go out and say, so every day I'm going, go out and get the milk. 2 days later, go out and get the milk. 2 days later, go out and get the milk. And I'm like, and it's like, why don't we just buy the damn cow, Ma? We got plenty of room in the backyard.
It's good exercise for you. After all, milk is good for you, Max.
Well, carrying two half gallons in my hand from the store and then lifting it as I'm walking to home. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was almost like Rocky, but like smaller. But
oh, that's a classic. It's like I'm sure everybody loved watching Rocky. I'm kind of dating myself. It's like I watched that in grade school, and they're daring everybody to drink, what was it, like half dozen or dozen raw eggs at the same time and see if you can get to a gulp. It's like, I don't think anybody could pull it off. I can't take one sip of that.
I used to do 3 of those, 3 raw eggs a day. I used to do 3 of those.
Oh my gosh. And then look at Rocky. It's like, was he like 70 something and he's still going at it? I'm sure he can probably take down,
yeah, as a matter of fact, he is a healthy 77-year-old, and I want to be a 77-year-old Rocky, or I want to be 75-year-old Schwarzenegger, or heck, I even want to be a 70-year-old Dolph Lundgren, But I want to be in that kind of shape, or I want to be that kind of 70, if you know what I'm saying. And I want to be that 90-year-old Dick Van Dyke who was like dancing up on stage, with at the Tony Awards or the Music Awards or whatever the heck he was on TV for. But and look at Betty White, sharpest attack at 98.
Unbelievable. And she's still looking for a guy to go out with. It's like, older than 98? Yeah, good luck, babe.
Well, I mean, you got to understand something. You're only as old as you think you are, or you're only as old as you feel. And to me, I mean, I'm going to be forever 25. I mean, my father my father had that philosophy too. He was 75 years old. He had the mind of a 25-year-old. I guess that's why he kept dating 25-year-olds, but that's another story. But anyway, I could tell you a story about that, but I'm not going to do that.
It's okay. We can talk about it off the air as well, too. We'd love to have you back on as well, Max, and talking about more of Maximum Exposure and more. We're here with the host of Maximum Exposure. He texted to Max Vitelli here on the Mike Wagner Show. Love to be back on again soon. And what else do you have coming up in 2021 and beyond, Max?
Okay, so in 2021, what we're really focusing on doing, and this is going to be something that we really are depending upon happening, we are going to be launching our new streaming channel called PTV. We're going to be number one because if we were called STV, we'd be number two. Ooh, that's a bad joke. But anyway, PTV. And here's the thing. We are going to be the epitome of sports entertainment. PTV is going to be featuring multiple channels, including professional wrestling, a men's division, a women's division, an intergender division. We're going to have cage fighting. We're going to have celebrity boxing. We're going to have an all-female competitive grappling channel, okay? We're also going to have what's called the Satin Angels, which is going to be our lingerie wrestling league, okay?
Wow.
We're also going to finally add to the queue something that we're very proud of. The IFBB, International Fitness Bodybuilding, has officially made Phoenix Entertainment their spokesman. They're for the New Jersey, New York area. So Phoenix Entertainment is now part of the IFBB family. We're going to be putting on a show for IFBB as well, too. We're going to have our own channel for that. And we're also going to be having comedy, late-night comedy, just like Netflix has their own comedy specials. We'll have one of those. And, of course, we'll have Maximum Exposures featuring celebrities or up-and-coming celebrities and anything else that we can get our hands on. And everybody will be able to see this.
Yes, that's right.
Only $4.99 a month. We're doing an introductory for only $2.99 for the first 3 months and then $4.99 for each additional month after that.
And that sounds like a deal. And where can we find you at?
Well, right now you could find me on every Saturday starting January 2nd on Facebook, which is Max Vitelli. You look up Max Vitelli 2009. That's when I started Phoenix Entertainment. That's on Facebook and Facebook Live. And also on Instagram and TikTok, if the damn thing ever works, but on Instagram at phoenix.ent.llc. So that's Instagram and that's Facebook. So there you go. And I'll be back on the airwaves on January 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to have the Thunder Zone reunion. We have so far 3 individuals who worked with me 10 years ago. It's our 10-year Thunder Zone reunion. We're having Tiffany Diamonds, the Goddess of Destruction, Apocalypse, and Miss Devon is going to be joining us for the January 2nd show. We're waiting to hear back from a couple of individuals. And finally, DJ Blade, who was my co-host, will finally show up for the show because he has no birthday parties going on.
Well, you have a busy life somehow, I have to say. There was one question I forgot to ask you. Talk about the divisions of wrestling. How about midget wrestling? Will that be featured?
Only if you perform.
Well, I can think of shorter people than that because the reason why I got into midget wrestling because we actually won tickets when I worked at a radio station and they're trying to get rid of them. And it's like they had a hard time doing so they gave them to us. I took my wife there and we had no kids at the time and Hulk Hogan was a main draw. And I think you also had women's wrestling. You had a couple of sidebars. I can't remember who else was there, but there was midget wrestling. I thought that was the best one. I was like, it was just pretty funny just watching two go at, but they're just amazing though. But don't ask me to midget wrestle. Sorry. Unless you want me to hospital permanently.
No, if I put a midget against it, the midget will probably win, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure you would give him a run for the money, though. I probably.
Well, that would be a special pay-per-view, $1 million, or a VIP, $1 trillion. Jeff Bezos money for me to go midget wrestling.
I can give you $1 million in Monopoly money if you'd like.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. 1 million pennies is fine. And Max, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence in my career would be my father. I would say my father. Even though he didn't have much, my father was a career waiter for many years. And to tell you the truth, he basically He made a lot of money in the restaurant business. I mean, he was working back in the 1960s where, waiters were making anywhere from like $2,000, $3,000 a week. Now, $2,000, $3,000 a week back in the 1960s, that's a lot of money nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, my father just never knew how to save his money. He enjoyed spending his money, and he enjoyed the ponies a little too much. And, he loved the action of the ponies. He loved the action of the cards. I did learn how to bet on horses when I was 6, and then I learned how to win with horses when I was 10. I did learn how to play all the card games, and how to shoot dice at 12, thanks to my father. But I think he's been a main inspiration to me because basically, it's a little sad. Even though, when he passed away, you could say he passed away a rich man because he had his kids around him. He literally left this world with nothing and left his kids with nothing. So even in the shadow of his death, I say to myself, you know what? He still inspires me because I don't want to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Don't marry. No, I'm kidding.
Is that the best advice you can really give?
No. Well, if you don't know that by now. But anyway, the best advice that I could really give anybody right now. Okay, don't try to make somebody else rich. Don't try to make somebody else successful. Learn one thing. Learn how to innovate. Become an innovator. Learn how to innovate. Become an innovation on your own. Think of something that you know is a fantastic idea, and push until it sticks. Stick it until it actually becomes an idea, and then it becomes a trend, and then all of a sudden, become your own boss. You are never going to be happy working for somebody else. You are never going to be happy making a company money. You're going to be happy when you own the company.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good point. Once again, Maxx Vitelli, the host of Maximum Exposure on the Mike Wagner Show. Max, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond, and keep in touch. You've been amazing. And again, thanks for having me on your show as well, too. I had lots of fun. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people check out your program, and how to subscribe?
Well, as I said before, right now we'll be launching we'll have more information on Instagram, and we'll have more information on my Facebook page once we come closer to the launch. We'll have our own website up in spring of 2021. Once we have the website up, you'll be able to just go on there and log on and just pay your membership, and then all the channels and all the content will be there and will be available for you to watch over and over and over again as many times as your heart desires. So we're going to try, hopefully, if this pandemic starts to lighten up, God willing, from my mouth to God's ears, we'll be able to get back into the studios. We'll be able to get some new talent back into the studios and get them trained so we can get some new content up and running for everybody. That way we can launch PTV with some new content. We've got so many individuals involved. So just keep an eye on Max Vitelli. Keep an eye on Max Vitelli's Facebook page. Keep an eye on Instagram, because we will be making announcements in 2021. In the meantime, as I say to everybody else, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. And to Mike Wagner, who is only 22 miles away from the Raccoon National Cemetery in Bismarck, North Dakota, I give you a healthy woo!
All right, Max, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2020 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. And feel free to come out to Bismarck. And also, we'll head out to National Park as well. So looking forward to having again soon.
It's out there. I'm telling you, you got to find it. It's out there.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing: Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People Based Upon Real-Life Relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamosinzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.